I returned to the gallery 2 days after the meeting at Alexander's office. Everything looked the same. The marble floors gleamed. The art was lit like sacred relics, and Madame Vestra's heels still clicked like punctuation marks. But something had shifted. I could feel it in the way no one met my eyes. In the silence that followed me like a shadow through the halls. No confrontation, no screaming, just distance. First, fewer messages from Vestra. Then Naira stopped acknowledging me entirely. The air around me had changed, like I'd become a liability no one wanted to be caught standing next to. When the meeting came, it wasn't in Vestra's office. It was a side conference room, cold, impersonal. She didn't offer me a seat. Ambassador Duval has expressed concern, she said, her words clipped, as if each one cost her something. He's a patron of considerable weight. You understand the position this puts the gallery in. I said nothing. She wasn't looking for a conversation, just a clean exit. He believes your behavior at the event was disruptive, aggressive. I almost laughed. And you agree? I asked, voice flat. She hesitated just for a second. I believe perception is more powerful than truth, especially in our world. Translation, Duval wins, she continued, eyes carefully neutral. His party is in power. His voice carries weight, not just in the art world, but politically. He's already whispered things to the board, to donors. We're exposed. So, you're firing me. We're letting you go, she corrected gently. With grace, quietly. You'll be compensated through the end of the month. We'll provide a reference, assuming there's no public commentary. A warning. If I spoke out, I'd lose even that. I nodded slowly, swallowing everything I wanted to scream. I understand, I said. I walked out with a cardboard box and no plan. The city was still moving when I stepped outside. People in expensive coats hurried past, the winter wind sharpening every thought I didn't want to think. I felt hollow, but upright. At least I hadn't backed down. I made it a few blocks before my phone buzzed. Blocked ID. Perhaps next time you'll remember your place. Silence is dignity, Ms. Elland. Ambassador Duval. I stopped cold. My fingers tightened around the phone. My chest burned, not with shame, but rage. That smug, righteous tone. That Ms. Elland, as if I were some unruly student and he the moral compass of the nation. Duval's party ran on family values, tradition, God, and power, all while people like him moved like predators through back rooms. And now, I was the one being erased. He wasn't just trying to end my career. He was trying to make sure I never felt safe enough to speak again. I stared at the message for a long moment, then opened Alexander's number. My hands shook slightly as I typed the following. I just wanted to thank you. What you did at the gallery. It gave me courage. I stood my ground. But it was all for nothing. They fired me today. Duval won. I don't expect anything. I just didn't want to leave it unsaid. I sent it and tucked the phone away, breathing in the cold. A minute passed. Then 2. I started walking again, slower this time, the weight of everything beginning to settle. Then my phone buzzed again. Alexander. He didn't win. He overplayed his hand, and the gallery just revealed what side they're on. I stopped walking. There was no punctuation in the message, just intent. Clean, director. Like him. I stared at the screen, not sure whether to laugh or cry. I didn't even ask for help, but somehow he knew I needed it. Alexander, you don't belong with them. Come talk. I want to show you something. I have sent you the address. Something flickered in my chest. Uncertainty, curiosity, relief. I didn't know what he wanted. I didn't know what he'd show me. But for the first time since everything collapsed, I didn't feel alone. I went to the address he sent me, which led me to a tall building. The elevator opened straight into his home, and for a second, I froze. I'd expected marble, maybe some cold minimalist glass and steel aesthetic. But I wasn't ready for this. The space was wide, high above the city, bathed in warm orange light bleeding through floor-to-ceiling windows. Everything inside looked untouched, flawless, as if even dust was afraid to settle here. And there he was, standing near the window, backlit by the sunset, like he belonged to something more permanent than politics or law. I stepped in, slowly, awkwardly, and the elevator slid shut behind me. "Is this where you live?" I asked before I could stop myself. He didn't turn around, among other places. Right. I stayed near the entrance, unsure if I was supposed to take off my shoes or speak first or apologize for being here at all. Then he turned, just enough to look at me. "Do you have a plan?" The question caught me off guard. "A plan?" "You were fired today," he said. "That makes you volatile, unstable, untethered." He said it like it was a compliment. People like that become dangerous or useful. I blinked. No, I don't have a plan. He nodded, as if that confirmed something he already suspected. Then he walked over to a sleek black console, poured 2 glasses of something dark, and handed one to me. No toast, no explanation, just a gesture. I took it, more out of reflex than confidence. "You're angry," he said. "Not just at Duval, at everyone who stayed quiet." I didn't deny it. He sat, motioned for me to do the same. I stayed standing. "So what do you want from me?" I asked. He looked amused. "That depends." "How honest are you willing to be?" I narrowed my eyes. "About what?" "About the fact that you want to ruin him." I swallowed. You're not the type to let something like this go. You stood up to him in front of half the elite class of the city. That wasn't impulse. That was principle. I shook my head. I just didn't want to be small anymore. He smiled slightly. "That's what makes you dangerous." He leaned back. Duval's entire identity is built on integrity. Clean public image, faith, family, Christian values. He's not just a man. He's a symbol. "A hypocrite," I said quietly. Alexander nodded. "Which is exactly why he can't be destroyed the usual way. If he falls from a financial scandal, they'll blame foreign influence. If he cheats politically, they'll say it was strategic." He paused, then looked directly at me. "But if you show them who he really is, a man of virtue who has none..." He let the sentence hang while I took a seat, feeling tired from the mess. "You want to use me," I said, "to make that happen." "I want you to meet someone," he replied. "Someone from the opposing party. Off the record, hear what they're planning. Decide if you belong on the other side." I laughed, but it sounded bitter. "And what exactly do you think I am? Some symbol too?" "I think you're someone no longer pretending, and that kind of person terrifies both sides." I stared at him for a long moment. "You brought me here to offer me a job?" He stood again, walked toward one of the paintings on the wall. A no-eye, of course. Something chaotic and beautiful and unreadable. "I brought you here to see if you're worth showing the truth to," he said. "And if I say no?" He turned back to me. His gaze was calm, amused, like he already knew which way this would go. "Then you leave and go back to whatever's left for you." I felt the flush rise in my chest before I could stop it. "And if I say yes?" I asked. That same hint of a smile. "Then you become very useful, very loud, very hard to ignore." He stood up and walked past me slowly, stopping just close enough that I could feel the heat of him, but not close enough to touch. Power, he said softly, is about choosing which fire you want to stand near, or whether you want to start one of your own. I didn't move. He leaned in slightly, just slightly, and added, "And don't worry. If you end up burning something, I promise it won't be you." Then he stepped away, letting the tension stretch like a wire between us. I still hadn't touched the drink, but I wasn't leaving. Not yet. Silence poured into the room, thick and deliberate, like time itself had paused. Meanwhile, he poured the wine, sat down beside me, closer than I expected. His leg brushed mine, and he didn't move away. Neither did I. The silence between us wasn't comfortable, but it was alive. Tight, electric. He leaned forward, resting his elbow casually on his knee, and then, without turning his head, spoke, his voice low. "I could help you ruin them, or if you would like it the other way around, you can help me ruin them." I felt it like a cord tightening inside me. Duval, the gallery, all of it. I didn't answer, but my pulse had already responded for me. "They tried to erase you," he said. "I could do worse to them." He sat back slightly, letting the words hang. "You think you want justice, but you don't. You want them to pay to look up and see you above them." He wasn't wrong. That's what made it unbearable. "I can make that happen," he said. I turned my head slightly, but not enough to meet his eyes. "Why me?" "Because you were never supposed to survive this," he said. "And yet, here you are." I stood without thinking. The glass wall was just steps away, stretching across the room, revealing a city swallowing itself in light and noise. I walked to it, slowly, until I was close enough for the cold to kiss my skin through the pain. I placed both hands on the glass. My reflection stared back at me, tired, haunted, sharp. Behind me, I heard him rise. Each footstep was measured, confident. I didn't look back. He stopped just behind me. I could feel the warmth of him, the way his presence filled the space like gravity. His hand touched my waist, barely. Then his breath, close again, near my neck this time. "You want to come out of this on top," he said. "Not clean, victorious." I didn't deny it. "You want them to whisper your name. You want the people who laughed at you to be the ones who fear you." His fingers brushed the edge of my hip, slow and deliberate. "If you want that, if you want me to fight for you, you have to let me in." I closed my eyes. "Let me kiss you," he said, voice softer now. "No one will know, just us, and you'll feel it, the shift." He waited. I didn't speak, didn't move, didn't stop him, because he was right. I wanted it, all of it. His lips brushed the side of my neck, slow, controlled, possessive, and I let it happen, because in that moment, I stopped pretending I was still the person I used to be. I had chosen my side. I stepped toward the window, the city glowing beneath me like a million secrets. My reflection stared back at me, still, unreadable. I felt him behind me, close. The air shifted, his presence wrapped around me without a single word. I didn't turn. I didn't need to. A flood of emotions surged through me. Fear, ambition, safety, surrender. All of it at once. What happened next wasn't about desire. It was a pact. From this moment on, I wasn't free. I had made the decision to win in life, and in doing so, I gave up the comfort of hesitation. I had sold my soul to him, and Alexander knew it.